I have been every voice.
You are the chosen one! I hate you!
This is where the fun begins.
Inside your head.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another video. Yesterday was a huge day. We got the Bad Batch trailer and we were introduced to a